Stephanie has 4 fish, and Tommy has 5 hermit crabs. How many pets do they have altogether? We will use a bar modeling approach to finding a solution to this problem. First, we will use snap cubes to represent the values concretely. Much like Scooby Doo and the Mystery Gang, we have to look for the clues in the problem. The first clue we see is 4 fish. The second clue we see is 5 hermit crabs. The second step in the Scooby Doo problem-solving process is to use special words or keywords in the problem to help us figure out what to do with the clues. Thus, what is the mystery? One of the key phrases we see is, how many? The other magic phrase we see is, altogether. This is going to tell us that we have to add those two values to find the sum. We will use 4 snap cubes to concretely represent the 4 fish that Stephanie has. Next, we will use 5 snap cubes to represent the 5 hermit crabs that Tommy has. The third step in the Scooby Doo problem-solving method is to choose a solution. With the clue words of how many and altogether, we know that we have to add. The fourth step in the Scooby Doo problem-solving method is to find a solution. If we combine the 2 bars to make one longer bar, that is the same as adding 4 and 5 together. We can physically count that there are 9 snap cubes. These 9 snap cubes represent the total number of pets that Tommy and Stephanie have altogether. At the end of each Scooby Doo mystery, the gang will describe the clues that they saw, what question that caused them to ask, and how they solved it. The fifth and final step is, much like yanking the mask off of Old Man Jenkins, we describe how we use the clues to find our solution method and what helped us get to that point. There are 2 simple statements that you can use to answer your question and to describe how you found your solution. The first is an if-then statement. We would say, if Stephanie has 4 fish and Tommy has 5 hermit crabs, then they would have 9 pets altogether. The second statement we would make is to describe how we found our answer. Simply saying, I found my answer by adding. I knew that altogether meant to add. After using snap cubes for quite some time to represent our values concretely, we can move to the pictorial stage, where we'll draw a picture to represent each of those values and manipulate that picture to show how the clue words point us to the right solution method. First, we will draw a bar that represents the number of fish that Stephanie has. We will label the bar as 4 fish belonging to Stephanie. Next, we'll draw a bar that represents the number of hermit crabs that Tommy has. We will noticeably draw the bar a little bit larger than the 4 fish that Stephanie has because we know 5 is more than 4. We will label the blue bar for Tommy as having 5 hermit crabs. Next, we will draw a bracket that represents the sum. We do not know the sum because that is the answer we're seeking. However, we do know that the label that will go with it is pets. We can find a solution that there are 9 pets altogether because whether we know the basic fact of 4 plus 5 equals 9 or counting on our hands, we get that sum. By first introducing the concrete representation of the values in the problem, then moving to a pictorial method, we can ultimately get to what we know as the abstract representation of this sum. By using the Scooby Doo method, we know that there are 4 fish and 5 hermit crabs as our clues. More clues in the problem are the key phrases of how many and altogether. That moves us to the second stage. The mystery is to find out how many there are altogether. The third step is to choose a solution. We know that altogether means we're going to add 4 and 5. The abstract or numeric representation is 4 plus 5 equals 9. The fourth step of the Scooby Doo problem solving method is to do just that. We found our solution. The fifth and final stage is to state the clues and the solution in an if-then statement. If Stephanie has 4 fish and Tommy has 5 hermit crabs, then they have 9 pets altogether. The second statement is to describe how we found our answer, which will support the validity of our solution. I found my answer by adding 4 fish plus 5 hermit crabs because I knew altogether meant to add.